We're back in the throne room with Proxima Midnight and Corvus Glaive brought in front of T'Challa, the Wakandan Elders, and the Secret Avengers. The proposition has been made. Either Earth agrees to hand over the Mind Stone within the duration of time allowed by Thanos' forces, thus saving Vision's life, or the ceasefire will be null and void and innocent blood will be spilled on Wakandan soil. T'Challa thinks. Corvus warns that they will not wait long for a response. They are technically unauthorized to make such a deal, but are willing to chance it, reason being empathy towards Wanda and Vision's predicament. The forces of Earth commune on the subject at hand. While it's true that agreeing to Corvus and Proxima's deal ensures Vision's safety, it will later come to damn them. On the other hand, not agreeing to the deal will result in immediate bloodshed and innocents being slain all around the world. Natasha believes they should reject the deal, stating that they can't sacrifice half the planet on Vision, as harsh as that sounds. This sentiment was reflected in the Age of Ultron when she and Steve spoke of Sokovian casualties versus the population of Earth. Taking the deal will grant Thanos unchecked sovereign power. Steve argues it, stating they do not trade lives. However, it's here that we see Steve reminisce on the events of Civil War, now seeing the horrors of self-governing sovereignty. This brings the ideological dispute between Stark and Steve to a close, since Stark sympathized with Cap's side in Part 1. Wanda approaches the throne urgently. She pleads with T'Challa, Cap, and Widow that they consider Vision's fate more thoroughly, and requests to take the decision to take the deal. At this time, we catch a quick shot of Okoye's eyes dart sharply to Wanda. As a soldier beholden to royal tradition, no one is to make demands to the king or even approach him in such a frantic way such as Wanda is doing now. Remember this. However, T'Challa is stern, yet chill. He turns to the Wakandan elders for one last spurt of counsel before making his decision. The delegation is rapid fire with valid points being made on all sides. The final decision is ultimately left to T'Challa. He takes a deep breath and speaks his choice to take the deal, much to Wanda's relief. The king shoots a quick nod to the elders, as if delivering a secret message on what to do now. Cap, Widow, and Falcon manage to pick up on this, believing T'Challa to be up to something. The elders raise to their feet and walk out of the throne room. Afterwards, T'Challa orders Shuri, her team of scientists and engineers, and a handful of soldiers to proceed with Vision's surgery. Shuri motions to transport Vision to her workstation in the nearby tower, but is stopped by Proxima. She states that she will be accompanying them to watch over the procedure to make sure they are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Shuri looks back to T'Challa, who gives his permission to allow this in good faith. The Secret Avengers, minus Wanda, wonder what T'Challa is up to. On Nowhere, within the Collector's station, Quill, Drax, and Gamora quietly sneak around the various gates and cages, inching closer and closer to what sounds like Thanos questioning a distressed Collector. Drax pulls out his blades while Peter remains cautious, motioning for Drax not to do anything rash. Gamora steps closer to the sounds of her father's interrogation. Thanos has the Collector by the throat and hoisted up off his feet. The Collector struggles to breathe. Where is the stone? Thanos continues to ask. The Collector musters a response. I don't have it. Why would I lie? Thanos smirks. I take it it's like breathing to you. The Guardians continue to advance slowly and carefully, all the while observing the Mad Titan's aggressive inquisition. In the spur of the moment, Drax steps hard on the grated metallic floors. The Guardians drop quickly to hide behind the containers. Thanos turns his head knowingly, almost coming off as amused. He smirks, almost as if he was expecting this. He turns his head back to the Collector when suddenly, a metal electric baton is thrusted through the chest of the Mad Titan. He drops the Collector to the hard cold floor, electric currents surging through his body, almost paralyzing him. He darts his eyes to the cause behind him, revealing his daughter, Nebula. Hello, father, Nebula taunts him. Thanos manages a demeaning smirk. Daughter, I would be proud if this wasn't so predictable. Nebula's grin fades. Her face is instantly met with a backhand from Thanos, the baton still protruding from his chest. Nebula regains her composure. The jig is up, the Guardians rush out from hiding, Thanos activates the Reality Stone to reveal the scene already on fire. This scene practically plays out the same as in the actual movie, except no Mantis. Quill and Drax lunge forward at the Mad Titan, knives and guns drawn. Nebula weakly manages to return to her feet, ready to return to the fight. Gamora, however, will be hesitant, seeing that Thanos fooled them easily and now possesses the power, space, and reality stones. In her heart, she knows that they are no longer any match for her father. Thanos forms a smirk of amusement at Peter and Drax. He takes this time to test the power of the reality stone, turning Drax into cubes of flesh, same as in the movie, But here we're going to play it as a horror scene from Gamora's perspective. She watches in utter shock as pieces of Drax's body begins dropping to the floor as he screams. A small piece of the gauntlet cracks. She yells for Thanos to stop. He doesn't listen. From the bottom upward, he begins to encase Quill in carbonite, referencing The Empire Strikes Back. I decided to make this scene a reference since the Russo brothers likened this movie to Marvel's version of Empire Strikes Back. Quill begins to freak out as Thanos approaches him, practically torture him by placing his hand on his head. Through her desperation and despair, Gamora begs to Thanos that she and Nebula will go with him if he turns them back to normal and leaves them alone. Thanos agrees. Quill and Drax's body begin to morph back to normal slowly. Quill and Drax find themselves ultimately unable to oppose the Titan. Nebula and Gamora take one final look back at their friends and waves goodbye, believing this to be the last time they'll ever see them. A space stone portal opens behind them and they walk through. Quill and Drax, both physically exhausted from the effects of the Reality Stone, make their way back to the Benatar ship. Drax struggles to regain his bearings while Quill stumbles to the command deck. Drax asks, "What are you doing?" "We're going after them, that's what," Quill responds. "We don't even know where they're going." Quill pauses, but he remembers what Thor told them about the Mind Stone. "No, but we know where he'll be." "Come in, this is Peter Quill. Any forces out there still able to fight, Nova Corps, Ravengers, whoever. I'm relaying coordinates. Send backup. We're going to Earth."